Choo choo choo, how do you do?
What's wrong with people these days? Just saw people jump into this pen of plush and look what's happened, busted open all over the place. I mean, what a disgrace. And then they run for their lives laughing. That's what the world's come to. The beep has been removed from this video, and as always, this video is highly educational.
Beep, beep, beep.
Okay, this is where Thomas & Friends stock used to be in a retailer. It's not my favourite one, but it's the only retailer in the shopping centre that carries Thomas & Friends stock. I'm going to go to where they've now put the Thomas & Friends stock, and it's here, and I think they're getting ready to expand the area because there'll be new stock coming. I'm just going to go through very quickly what's here. Thomas minis are here. Okay, a couple of these things for colour changes, blah blah like that. Never got into that. Little baby-esque stuff. There's 2 Brunos there, and there's a whole stack of NIAs. I think it's much the same stock that was on the end aisle display. Okay, talking NIAs, and that's all that's here in the talking NIAs. And I think if you touch one of these, they all talk back to each other. Maybe. Yeah, okay, if you get excited by that, go right ahead. Okay, these here, metal collection. You can see who's here. Okay, Perthy and Thomas, and of course Sandy the stupid slipper. Lots of Sandys. Next shelf down, empty shelf there. There is only one of the 3 packs here. That's motorised 3 packs. I don't think there was much of that stuff here before anyway. Okay, this here, someone's decided to walk that out of store. As for why, not as awesome as Nerf darts. These sets here, it's very self-explanatory. You can see what's there. The ones behind here are the little Ashmere sets that set up to entice girls to play with trains. Not a bad thing to do. Okay, that set there. I saw a lot of these in Big W, stuff like that. Very self-explanatory. Moving along a bit of empty shelverage. More of those, but I think there might be a Thomas thing hidden behind. Okay. That one there, the Perthy set, one of those, Carly the Crane set, and then we get into the darker territory down here, and you can just see what's going on there, and there's lots of them. There's like double shelving of that sort of stuff. One of the tables there for the young children to kneel at and play, which I'm not really keen on. Okay, so yeah, you can see what's here. I can see the area's been expanded. That's a good thing. The classic Thomas & Friends stuff will hopefully be here soon. Don't hold your breath though. It's been very, very agonizing trying to find that stuff. And I noticed this ticket here, and I'll go in closer on this. It's an interesting read. So what was here was the 5-pack, the awesome 5-pack Construction Crew. It dropped down to $19, and as you can see, 0 here, which is actually a good sign. I like seeing empty shelves in the strangest way. So what do I learn in a retail sense? Well, looking at this, well, obviously the Thomas area hopefully will be full of stock soon. But when I look up here, and I've known this for a while, NIA is a hard sell. That's been very obvious to me. Something about NIA doesn't connect to who's buying this stuff, although we can't see what's purchased online. That's a great big caveat. Okay, for all we know, NIA might be the most popular choice for people buying stuff online. While I'm here, I'll just take you to a curious end display, which speaks volumes about what's going on as well. Okay, this is the end display here. You can see the price, you can see how much it's reduced by. And as I drag my camera down here, you can see just how many of these James sets, it's the babyized AEG stuff, is here to sell. Maybe if it dropped down to $5, I'd grab a few. Just looking on the side here to see how deep this goes, there's doubles there coming up the shelves, and I think at the top shelf it goes to treble. So treble in depth. So yeah, there's something about this set here that's a bit of a hard sell. Something about that style of Thomas that just isn't connecting with the people who should be buying it. Maybe it's time for AEG to be run out of town. No visual pun intended. Okay, I'm back at the new Thomas stock area there. Like I said, I'm waiting for that new classic Thomas stuff to appear. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to travel back in time, and we're going to take a look at what was in this area here. And the 2 dates we're going to look at is 5 days before Christmas, that you may have seen in another video. And then we're going to take a look at Boxing Day, the day after Christmas, what was left on this end aisle here. And that speaks volumes about what's going on. Okay, this is the Thomas toy cell in not my favourite retailer, I'll just say it like that. I was here back when the Thomas stock appeared, and this is the only retailer that has Thomas toys in the shopping centre as I'm looking at this. So there's the cell there. Across the top shelf, there's this here. I'm 5 days out from Christmas, so it's a very interesting time to look at the stock here. I'm not going to explain everything. That you can see the video hopefully tells the story here. Okay, so that's what's there. Coming down to the next level, this is what I'm seeing here. These are all motorized, but they're all the talking ones, and this is the new style when it's got this strip down the side. Look at the characters which are there. There's one of these here, which is probably the pick. There's that there, but just notice what is here. Okay, you can see what's there. I don't need to tell you exactly what's here. You can see what's left behind. Okay, looking at that there. Yeah, this one has been a hard sell all the time. I just go down to that shelf there, but give me an edit here. In the darkness there, there's NIA, and there's NIA over here. There's more NIA. This is all the talking stuff. There's whiff there, okay, which might be a bit of a nice thing. NIA and another whiff. Okay, I'll put all this back neat and tidily. I was just there, down to here, you can see what's here. More of the talking stuff. If I go along here, you'll see the characters which are there. Okay, that might be a nice pick, but it's a talking engine, and they're being left behind. Going across here, it's more of the motorized stuff. It's all talking as well, okay? We're seeing the same characters over and over, aren't we? That was that shelf there. Remember, this is 5 days out from Christmas, and there's these here, which are sort of connected to what was up on the top shelf. And going down here, there's that there. This is all your baby-fied Thomas stuff, and there's this item here which I spoke extensively about the last time I was in here looking at this here, and I think what I said, it needed another talking doodah with that to make it really something to grab. So that was the Thomas cell. I've got a bit of an audience watching me at the moment. There is one thing that I grabbed from here and it was spectacular. Maybe that's going to be part of this video or maybe not, but that is the Thomas cell in the only retailer in my local shopping centre that sells this stuff. I suppose I've just got to be happy that at least that stuff is there. It's better than nothing. Okay, I'll just say I'm back at my, well, not so favourite retailer. This is the only retailer in this big shopping mall, the local one where I live, that sells Thomas stock, and I've come here and it's Boxing Day, so the day after Christmas, just to see what has sold in the Thomas cell. Quite interesting, isn't it? First thing to point out, there is one of the bigger My First turntables right up on the top there. Looking across the top shelf, you can see what's here. The My First Thomas stuff here. This looks basically the same. The caveat here is, of course, I don't know what's been restocked. I can see a lot of NIAs there. If I go here, we're going to see the other characters that are available. Okay, curiously, there's a Thomas here. Yeah, it's quite interesting, isn't it? So, yeah. The next shelf down, and to me this doesn't look that different. These here, metal engine, it's the old stock when it says metal engine, and now metal collector or something. That's an example here. I don't think this was here before. Okay, Carly, as in the metal collection style or reboxing. Okay, take a look there. A lot of the talking engines are still here. I think there was a James here, and I think James might have disappeared. Okay, you can see the characters that are here. There's another whiff there. Just going down to the next one. Oh, there's a complete blow in here. We'll leave the blow in there. Okay, NIA, we've got whiff, and we've got whiff again. Moving across from that whiff, I think some of these have gone because these were stacked out to the front. Mind you, there is another section of them there, so they might have been shuffled around. It's a NIA all by itself there. I'll just present it to the front and do the right thing. Going down another level, guess what? There's another NIA. NIA is definitely a problem child. Okay, another NIA, and NIA's been a problem child really from the day she first appeared. Coming over here, there's that blow in there. I've got no idea what that is, but I'll just scoot it upstairs for a second. Another NIA. Another NIA, another NIA, another NIA. Crikeys, frippin' hell, another NIA. And the thing here is these are all talking style Motorised. I was almost going to say Trackmaster 3, but they're called Motorised now. And personally, I'm not really a fan of the talking type of, I was almost going to say toy trains, but let's just say collectible trains. I was just there, going down to the next shelf here, and to me this looks much the same. Maybe one or two of these sets have sold. Okay, it's again, it's the, you know, my first Thomas stuff. Yeah, I can't see that this is on special, which is sort of curious. And going down to the very bottom, it's these sets here. Hopefully self-explanatory as I chug along there. In fact, I think I've noticed something that's a problem with the one I just touched. I've got a sticky feeling that one's missing a James. There should be a James there. If I just drag one here next to it like that, and if I pull back, yeah, crikey, there's a bit of a problem there. Okay, that's the Thomas cell in this retailer, which is the only retailer in this big shopping mall that now sells the Thomas toys. Going back in time, there used to be maybe 7 or 8 retailers that had Thomas stuff. Those days are over. Really strange times. There is a bit of a caveat to this, and there is some Thomas stock just here, just on the flip side of that. You can see these packs here. Okay, yeah, I don't remember those the other day, but they've popped into the area there. And up the top here, there's more of those tables, and then there's Thomas stock running along there. It's nice to see. It's the Percy 6-in-1 set. I didn't see that the other day when I was in here. And next to that is the Talking Bulstrode, Which Way Bridge, blah blah. And there's quite a few of those. I find it interesting. It's the talking toys that are the ones that seem to be sitting here after Christmas. Now, I've got a very strong memory. This is a little bit dangerous to pull down from the top shelf. If I'm very careful, I might be able to take another look at it without it falling on me. I keep coming back to my favourite retailer. I'm hoping one day Thomas & Friends stock is going to reappear. It's been in here for decades. It got stripped out. This was the place where it used to be, as in past tense. I keep coming in here and I'm thinking, well, the shelves here are empty. I can see temporary out of stock signs, although that's nothing to do with Thomas & Friends. Maybe the Thomas & Friends stock is going to come back. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, this is, I'll call it mid-January of 2025, and I'm in my favourite store that no longer has Thomas & Friends stuff, and I'm looking at how many Hot Wheels advent calendars have been left behind. Okay, there's a pile here. There's a pile here as well. You can do the counting. I can't count today. Another pile here, and my crikey Charlies, the song remains the same. It's a Hot Wheels 20 pack. It's been opened up, and you can see what's being taken out from that pack, whether or not there was anything that special in there. I need a Hot Wheels expert to tell me, but that little problem with the 20 packs never seems to go away from this store. It's a little bit in disarray, although I have seen it worse than this, and I'm just looking for where the Hot Wheels 20 packs reside here. I don't think that's their spot. I've found another one here. This one's intact, which is rare to see. But what I will do, and I've done this so many times, is I'll take this busted open one, I'll take it up to the back of store, and it'll go into the quarantine area where, well, the stuff that's been busted into gets sold for a lesser price. If I got paid $1 for every time I've taken something busted open to the back of store, I'd be a millionaire by now. Just as I'm walking here, I notice there's like a demolition car there, all crushed up. That caught my eye. I would have taken that if it was me. Anyway, like a good boy, I'll put it there. While I'm here and the store's quiet, I'll go to the back naughty corner. This has had a really long history of all sorts of shenanigans going on here. It's been reformatted. The big rack that was here that had bikes on it, it's been taken away. There was a time here for a couple of months where it was all basically clean in here, very low stocking of stock, if that makes any sense. You can see right to the back. Let's just walk around. I've got fairly keen eyes for naughty business. Okay, yep. So tags here and everything, all that stuff would have been taken out of store. You can see there were hangers here for the clothes that have gone. It looks like King Kong almost made it out. Okay, just walking around a bit further. I mean, it's still a perfect hidey hole down here. I don't want to educate you in doing the wrong things. I'm just looking at what is around here. Okay, yeah. It's funny, I always think about how many times I've found endless amounts of Pokemon cards pulled apart up here. Going to the next little naughty corner. Oh, lovely. Look at this here. Aren't people just beautiful? You know, now staff have to come and clean that up. They just dump it here. And in a strange way, that says to me, younger people doing that. Then again, adults do it as well. I can see here, there's a whole bunch of rubbish. I'm not going to get under there, but underneath that shelf there, right on the floor. Another little naughty zone here. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's take a closer look at that there. Okay, with the illumination helping me here, that is what is put on stuff to stop it from walking out of store. It's been removed. It looks like some fishing stuff. Has been maybe a few things taken out of that. I mean, it's well out of area here. Okay, over here. Let me just drag this out. Okay, so we've got a 65 watt laptop wall charger that's gone walking. Well, they've almost got this out. Okay, so they've had an attempt here and they may have been scared away. Yeah, 4 USB ports with Type-C adapter. And what's this here? They've got this one. It's a USB-C to lightning cable. I'll take all this up to the back of store. Oh my god. So at least they can put it on their list of stuff that's stolen. Come up to the area I know really well. Okay. It's amazing when I see something that looks a bit out of place, I start to look a bit more carefully, and I noticed a pair of scissors here. What are they doing here? And then it had me looking down over here. Let me remove this box here, which is via the wire spider wire. Put that on the ground and I get presented with this here. Okay, so obviously someone's had a field day of getting into this stuff here. You can see what's here, cables, more stuff, a lot of tech stuff. There you go, it's been ripped into. That's what the scissors are about. And this over here, it's a wireless mouse. Yep, all that. Very, very naughty. If you're wondering, I've done the right thing. Before I go, I'm going to go to one of the favourite little corners of this store. It's where the soft pet toys are, doggy toys. It was always this bay here, this area here. That had shenanigans going on here. Sure enough, shenanigans I can see already. I'm just going to scan the whole area here. Just on the floor here, okay, to start with. All sorts of tags of things. Okay, there's all sorts of stuff underneath there as well. We won't get into that there. I can see tags of stuff everywhere. But coming up here tells me a much grander story of what's going on here. That was going to be on its way out. Okay, whatever is in here has gone. Oops, sorry, I just dropped that. It looks like, well, they've even grabbed stuff from, you know, the markdown area. The looks of it. They try to walk that out of store. And what's this here? Yeah, well, they've taken one component of that. It looks like the blades or something. I mean, frippin' hell. I'll take all this up to the back of the store, plus the thing I dropped. Disappointing, I tell you. Very, very, very disappointing. I walked this to the back of the store. Oh god, as I'm walking out, look at this here. Even more stuff. Let me just put that down there. Okay, so it's another, it's a portable charger. Dual USB blah blah. Okay, and some of these commander sticker things for sticking stuff up on a wall. Man, I'm almost going to need to get a basket to take that to the back of store. This is just disappointing, and this is crap. I mean, I've grown up in this store. I used to come here as a young teenager. I never saw this sort of stuff going on, but I see it going on all the time now. Welcome to 2025. Please have the new stock, please. Oh, frippin' hell, the shop's busy and my phone's about to cark it. I'm down to 10% battery. Frippin' Apple and their updates. This is Big W at Macquarie Centre. It's the closest Big W to me. Unfortunately, Oh, I'm tripping over this. The new stock isn't here and the shop is really crowded. I mean, you can see what's here. I don't really need to talk about it. I think quite a few of these sets have gone, or maybe they're in the wrong spot. I mean, I frippin' wouldn't know. I'm pretty sure a lot of that stuff sold. I think that stuff was on special. And up here, you can just see what's there. I'll just go through like that. Oh, I'm just so over trying to find this new classic stuff. It's really, really frying my brain. Yeah, the 3-packs are still on special here. So I think what needs to happen is for the new stock to come in, all this stuff needs to go. And what I might do is I actually might grab one of these, hey? This is quite a nice set because you got Bruno the Brake Doodah there. Okay, yeah, so I will pick up one of these, as silly as that sounds. Just next to the Thomas stuff there, I saw this, and this is a little bit naughtier. It reminds me of my local Kmart. Look at this here, Disney 100 stuff. Someone's grabbed that, got out of a box, and they probably put it in their pocket and walked out of store. Naughty! That's something I just learned. Let me put that there for a sec. There's someone here preening and tidying up the Mattel stock, and what they do is when they've tidied it up, they come along and they scan the QR code that's just there. One of the little secrets of retail. You'd never know until you saw someone do it. And I better get out of here with my Puffy and Bruno. Hey! I'm back at my not favourite store. It's a store where the store escape salty incident happened. It's also a store where a staff person tried to get me for shoplifting. That was a very interesting little case, that one. I'm just showing you the Thomas aisle here, which has been expanded right out. But as you can see, there's not much to buy here. In fact, something quite curious here, apart from the stack of NIAs here, I'm seeing this. I don't think I've seen a talking diesel. In the strangest way, I might actually get this because I like collecting diesels. Going along to metal collection, look, it's getting very, very scant, the stock. Mind you, it wasn't that big before. Going down the shelf, it looks like there's been some fiddling diddling here, some more fiddling diddling going on here. But just scanning along here, I just do double shelves like that. I can see the stock has been reduced a bit more. So we've sort of had the Easter break at school holidays time as well. And I've got a feeling the minis are actually quite popular. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they were chock-a-block last time I was here. I think these have really been eroded away. So hey, thumbs up for minis, hey? And just going down another one, another two. You can see what's there. Some empty shelves, and that Bullstone bridge set is just a sitter, you know. Okay, so we've got that there, and going along the bottom, yeah, it's that sort of big table thing, more of those bridge sets. So yeah, I'm just awaiting the new classic stuff to appear here. Oh boy. You know, when it appears, hopefully it's going to fill up the shelves, because as you can see here, it's looking a fair bit dry. If you're wondering about the end display of that James set, it's the push along stuff, it's the baby stuff. It looks much the same as it did before. Yes, sort of says a lot to me in seeing that.
Hi, friends. Hi, Diesel.
Don't forget, I didn't forget to grab Diesel. Come here with me and shut up.
Hi, Diesel.
Okay, this is late April. I'm in Maya City store. The Minecraft stuff is here, and the movie stuff again shows that the Steve is missing. It's just the creepers that are around, which is something I just can't get my head around. But the Thomas and French area has morphed and moved a little bit. I'll just say it's the end of the autumn holidays, if that makes any sense. So it's here, it's up on racks on the wall, and I won't get into too much details here. Our picture tells a billion words. I'll say it's well stocked. There's actually a lot of stock here, but what I came in here to get is the new classic motorized stuff. I go along like this. I'm going to try to do this in a one-take wonder. It's going to be a miracle if I can pull this off. I think the Thomas Wooden Railway stuff is presented in a much better way versus what I've seen before here, when it's all stacked up and you didn't quite know what was here. Okay, going over again. Okay, and we're away from the island idea, which I thought was a bit naffed. Okay, the babyfied Thomas stuff seems to be here. Yeah, and a couple of motorized sets down the bottom there as well. If I stand back here, you get a better view of what's going on. Mind you, that rack is actually fairly high. Okay, so there's really good stuff there. that is set up at a height where little ones are never going to see it. And when I say good stuff, I'm thinking about things like this, and I've got to reach right up. This is really high up. I'm going to have to reach right up on my tippy toes to get this here, okay? Almost pointless to have something up that high, but that's where they've deemed a good place to sell that to little ones. I don't know, it seems fripping crazy in my books. Well, what's curious is the Thomas Wooden Railway stock is actually split up into a couple of different zones here, which makes it a little bit confusing. Looks like a Percy's tried to escape from here, or someone's had a bit of a tinkle there. So there's more Thomas Wooden Railway stuff there, and then I'll say there's more over here. So I'm just showing you the Thomas Wooden Railway stuff. If I go up here first, okay, and if I go in like that, who knows if they're all Thomases? You just don't know, do you? Because the end of the packaging doesn't tell you what's going on inside the packaging. Down here, the track packs. I should grab those before there's none left and they disappear completely. There's something hiding at the back here. I'll just reach in and get this. Okay, well, it's out there. I'll put this in the right spot. Okay, I'll do something correct here. And going across again, looking at the Thomas Wooden Railway. Yeah, so that's it there for one section. That's it there for another. You can see the characters available, and this is the last section where I can see it there. Yeah, it's quite nice to see Henry is represented here. And I've always thought that's one of the more popular choices when it comes to this style of Thomas toys. I mean collectibles. Don't worry, I didn't forget to put Perthy in the right spot. So we're going back in time to 1 month before Christmas in the same store, and I spoke about how there was the island of Thomas and Friends stuff. This is the island, and I'll tell you what, when I first saw it, I was actually very impressed. I didn't like the position it was in, a little bit lost on the department floor, but taking a closer look, there seemed to be a bit of a choke on certain characters, mind you, because everything's AEG-ized, apart from the wooden railway stuff. The number of characters to choose from has been really choked back and reduced. The way the Thomas Wooden Railway characters were displayed here was very poor. A lot of the stuff you couldn't tell who was who because there was this great big stack in the middle and you can't read the end of the boxes. And in thinking about how this is so different to previous years where the supply chain seemed to have a choke on it, this seemed to be very impressive, but there's actually a very, very important thing missing here. And it didn't dawn on me until months later. And I thought, well, that's strange. There's a really, really important thing that if it was here would make a lot of sense, but unfortunately it's totally missing. And even to the point 4 months after Christmas, it's still totally missing. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it gets back to the old saying, you can't sell a secret. Now I'm going to move to Christmas Eve, and I mean an hour before it closes, and that's the end of retail before Christmas. The area had moved to a different spot. It was close to an aisle, which is a major thoroughfare in the department. I think it was a better spot, but I still saw a lot of stock there that was just bloated up and not sold, and there wasn't much choice there. I could see other toy lines had completely sold out, basically to no stock, but it was really strange to see all that Thomas and Friends stock sitting there just an hour before the shop closes before Christmas Day. I come back to the same store 2 months after Christmas and the Thomas and Friends Island was moved to a different area. You can see what's there. I mean, it's very self-explanatory when you see the island of stock that's there. And in a strange way, the 4-month wall of Thomas stuff is very close to where this island was. Anyway, back to the same store 4 months after Christmas. Okay, I think that's better than what I've seen before here. It's a little bit too high in some areas. There is another section here as well. I'll just walk out like this and you'll see it, and it's basically an island of, I'll call it the hard sell stuff, okay, without explaining anything more like that. If I go onto this side here, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe best explain that Babyfied All Engines Go is very much a Thomas and Friends hard sell. So yes, it's very interesting indeed, and with the English language, the word interesting can be interpreted in many ways.